Hello UPSC aspirants, myself Dr. Sahitya Pantam. In this video lecture, we will be discussing about Acts of British India from 1919 to 1947. In my previous video lectures, I have explained about the Regulating Act 1773 to Parliamentary Reforms 1909, and this is a continuation for those videos. Let's get started. Before going into this provisions of the Act, let's see why this Act was formed. Preceding this Act, there were a lot of events happening. World War I has happened and it has brought a lot of famines and increase in prices in India, which has brought hardships to the peasants, artisans and other sections of the Indian community. So there was merging of extremists and moderates in the Lucknow Pact, and also Muslim League has joined the Indian National Congress in order to fight the British to bring reforms and also include more Indians in the representative government. Also, Gandhiji's entry into India has given a boost to the movement. With the government steps like Rowlatt Act and Jallianwala Bagh massacre, Gandhi and other Indians and Muslim League and Indian National Congress were forced to bring about non-cooperation movement, disobedience movement in the coming days. So in order to calm down the Indians, Montagu, Secretary of State, and Chelmsford, who was the Viceroy, has brought reforms. These reforms are included under this Government of India Act 1919. I have made these provisions separately for centre and provinces. Most of the reforms were brought in provinces. So in the centre, very less reforms were made, but the reforms which were made include in the centre, there was really no responsible government. Governor General has still more powers. He is the chief executive authority, and also two lists were made, that is subjects for centre and also subjects for provinces. So two lists of subjects were made, and Governor General can also restore, cut in grants, certify bills, those which are rejected, and also can issue ordinances. And Viceroy Executive Council, in the previous Act, if we see in 1909, there were 8 members, but in this Act, Viceroy Executive Council, 8 to 12 members were included and 3 were to be mandatorily Indians. Next, in the legislature of the Central Legislative Assembly, in that bicameral legislation was included, just like the present Indian Constitution provides bicameral legislation, Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. Parliament has Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. The same way, there was Central Legislative Assembly and Council of State. Central Legislative Assembly is for 3 years and Council of State is for 5 years, and only male members are included in the Council of States. And bill has to be passed in both the houses, just like present, where president assent is also needed, then only it becomes a law. Also, 3 measures were to resolve for any deadlock. They are joint committees, joint conferences and joint sittings. Also, they can ask questions, supplementary questions, and also adjournment motion. Adjournment motion was included in under this act. Also, in the previous act, there was whole budget cannot be voted, but whole budget, but 25% budget can be voted from in 1919 act. Also, Indians in committee include finance committees. First time, so in finance committees also Indians can participate. Also, Secretary of State is paid from British Exchequer. Next, Governor General given control over Legislative Council. For example, he has to give assent, he can withhold the bill, also he himself can enact a bill and disallow questions. Next, I have made this chart for Legislative Assembly and also Council of States. In Legislative Assembly, there were nominated and elected people. Nominated includes official and non-official, and elected members in the Legislative Assembly who were elected by the people include Muslims, general category, also Europeans, landlords, also representation of Indian community, and 2 Sikhs. Other way, the other house, Council of State, which includes nominated and elected. Elected includes in this general Muslims, Europeans and Sikhs. Next, in the provinces, executive diarchy was introduced. Diarchy is nothing but there were 2 bodies like executive councillors and council of ministers. Executive councillors will be dealing with reserved subjects, and Council of Ministers will be dealing with the transferred subjects. See, if you see that reserved subjects include very important matters like law and order, finance, but transfer subjects include very normal subjects like education, health, local government, which includes more money, but finance is under reserved subjects. Next, governor is the executive head here. And also governor can also take transferred subjects on failure of machinery. That is nothing but now presently now constitution president's rule. The same way here also governor can take transferred subjects also. Next, council of ministers nominated from among elected members of legislative council itself, and council of ministers responsible to legislature, that is they can involve no confidence motion to remove the council of ministers. Also secretary of state and governor general interfere in transfer subjects, so the center can involve in provincial subjects like transfer subjects, only transfer subjects, so reserve subjects are still with the governor and the executive council. Next, coming to the legislature of the provinces, 70% of the members are elected, and it has communal electorate and class electorate. Communal electorate is nothing but community lines, on community lines like Muslims, Sikhs, their electorate was divided, and also class electorate like only propertied class can elect the people. And also it gave provinces power to give right to vote to women. It did not directly give the right to vote to women, but it gave the power for the provinces to give the right to vote to women. So in 1921, Madras was the first state to grant voting rights to wealthy and educated women. Also, legislative council can initiate legislation and governor assent. Also, governor can veto bills, issue ordinances, restore rejected bills, and there was also a provision of freedom of speech for the members. And for the information, I have added some facts like S.P. Sinha, who was the first member to be involved in Viceroy Executive Council in 1909 Act. He has become the first Indian governor for Bihar province in 1920. Also, this act has provided first time the Public Service Commission in India. It was 1935 Act that Federal Public Service Commission was formed, but in this act it has established the Public Service Commission. Also, this act provided that after 10 years a statutory commission is to be formed for working of the whether to review the provisions of this act. So that is why in 1927 Simon Commission was formed, and it has faced black flags all over India because it did not include any Indians in the commission. It was also created an office of High Commissioner for India in London also. And also for information, I have added another fact that Vittalbhai Patel was the first elected president or present speaker in Indian constitution. Just like that, he was called president of that time. So he was the president of the Central Legislative Assembly in 1925 elections. He was elected as the speaker, Vittalbhai Patel. In my next video, I will be discussing about 1935 Act and 1947 Act. Thank you. Please like my video, share it with your friends. For any doubts, please comment in the comment section, and please subscribe my channel. Thank you.